What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to Gearbox. So today we have a topic that I am very excited about and passionate about, and that is the topic of detailing. Now, if you have been watching this channel for a while, you know that I love to detail my truck, detail my car, really detail in any way, shape, or form, and it is just such a good feeling getting into a freshly detailed vehicle. I cannot explain the joy that it brings me to do so. Now, of course, this topic in of itself is kind of a rabbit hole. There's a lot of kind of weekend warrior detailers. There's obviously professionals that are doing crazy shit on the detailing game. And then there's everyone in between. It's a large spectrum. There's a lot of different tools, a lot of different products, so on and so forth. Regardless of what part of the spectrum you're on, these are going to be a couple tips as it relates to detailing the inside of your vehicle that I found helpful and that I've been taught through watching plenty of detailing videos on YouTube and in other formats as well. So I wanted to share these with you, and we'll just get right into it. Tip number one on this list is going to be kind of a universal idea, if you will, and it's going to mirror a lot of the ways that we wash things in general, even, you know, the exterior of cars. And that's going to be working from top to bottom and specifically vacuuming last. So if you look here, right, we're gonna, you know, wipe down, do whatever we need to do. All of this stuff is eventually going to end up down here, or it's going to end up in the door pockets or on the seats or whatever. And I promise you, this is going to save you so much time in your detailing game if you're not working against gravity. Let gravity do the work for you and clean it all up at the very end. Very simple trick, but definitely something, especially if you're detailing like a lot of cars in some capacity, gonna save you a lot of time in the end. And it's just going to be that much more satisfying when you're vacuuming all that stuff up. Tip number two, we're going to walk out to the exterior while looking at the interior. Tip number two is going to be a very important one, and one that doesn't get a lot of loves, and that is door jams. Please make sure that as you are washing the outside of your car, as you're washing the inside of your car, that we are not neglecting these right here. I'm very proud of myself that these are in good shape as it stands, because to be honest with you, I forget about them sometimes too. If you're going to say that your car or your truck or your whatever is legitimately clean, and I look at the door jams, I'm gonna throw a bullshit flag all day long. It's very easy. There are a couple different ways to do it. One would be as you're washing the exterior, just open the doors, you know, as you're drying down or whatever, get all that grime out of there. You can also grab a degreaser of some sort, spray it down, wipe it off. It doesn't take a lot of time, and ladies and gentlemen, you would be shocked how dirty those things get, even though they're technically on the inside of the car. Please do not neglect your door jams, and you can thank me later. For tip number three, we're going to be using today's video sponsor of Shine Armor. Shine Armor is an automotive detailing brand that will give you everything you need to keep your ride looking nice and clean and shiny and all the above. Shine Armor I've been using for a long time at this point. Today we're working with the interior spray. We've also used some of their exterior products, their degreasers. We've used ceramic coatings, spray waxes, you name it, they've got it, and they've got a phenomenal product here with this interior cleaner. So going to tip number three, we're talking about using a product that best suits your vehicle. Now, what do I mean by that? In this case, we're working with, you know, your standard dash material. We've got some cloth seats. Obviously, we've got the carpet. when you're detailing, especially the inside of the car where you're working with a lot of different materials, you want to make sure that you're making your life as easy as you possibly can by using products that are best suited for said material. So in this case, once again, we have the interior spray, and it's basically 3 simple steps. So I'm going to set you down, show you what it's all about, and we'll go from there. All right, so while using the Shine Armor spray, it's pretty simple, guys. What we're going to do, gonna give it a couple sprays here on the dash, get it nice and lubed up. We're gonna grab a clean microfiber towel. We're gonna wipe it down, and this stuff, by the way, this stuff smells amazing for an all-purpose cleaner. Usually these things smell like not great. In this case, smells awesome. So we're gonna wipe this down, make sure we get everything over here. Then we're going to flip the microfiber, or in this case, just fold it, get you a nice, clean, dry side. We're going to buff off for a matte finish, and now our dash is looking good to go. So with that being said, guys, thank you to Shine Armor for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get to point number 4. For tip number 4, for detailing the interior of your car, we're going to something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is glass. If you have been detailing for any amount of time, we can probably all agree that cleaning glass sucks. Now, my tip for you here is clean glass with the squeegee. So what do I mean by that? Well, I don't have a squeegee here, but let's use this window. We're gonna spray, your glass cleaner, whatever it is. Obviously, if you have a tinted window, be careful, ammonia free, all that sort of stuff. But we're going to spray down the window, and then we're gonna get a squeegee. This thing's that obviously they clean windows with, duh. But we're gonna use that here, and we're just gonna go top to bottom, and we're gonna make nice, clean strokes through the window. And then we'll be able to, once again, buff off with a microfiber towel. That is something that will result in a streak-free finish of your glass. And if you're anything like me, if there's a single streak on my glass, it drives me nuts, and I'll be re-cleaning it until there are no streaks. The squeegee is a godsend. It is an awesome tip to use here. Drop a comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go take that tip and run with it, because it's gonna make your life a hell of a lot easier. Now, on to the 5th and final tip. For tip number 5, we're gonna be talking about something that, in my opinion, is probably neglected the most, and that is going to be disinfecting. Yes, we can have all of the products in the world to clean and make it look clean, but if we're not disinfecting, you're not actually clean, if that makes sense. So in this case, we have a used 2019 F-150, bought this a couple years ago. The first thing I did was I detailed and disinfected this entire truck. Now, when I put it this way, it's gonna make a lot more sense. But, if you think about it, especially buying a used car or truck or whatever, these seats have been sat in. People's sweaty arms have been right here. You go back to the back seat where we have so much room for activities. Shit has been here, and odds are people haven't disinfected it since the truck came off the frickin' lot, guys. And when you think about it, it's pretty disgusting. In my opinion, you do not have a legitimately clean car unless 2 things happen. 1, the door jambs are clean, which we mentioned earlier, and 2, you haven't disinfected. Now, I'm not the type of person to say you need to disinfect every single time that you detail your car or truck or whatever, but keep it in mind, every once in a while, go ahead, disinfect, get your truck 100% clean again, because this is just a breeding ground for germs. Now, for a new car versus a used car, obviously used cars are gonna need it a little bit more, but over time, your new car will become used. And the germs that you have bringing in from the outside world, for lack of a better term, you need to disinfect it. I think this step gets overlooked by 99% of weekend warrior detailers. Professionals are obviously great at it with the steam cleaning and the you know, the different pH levels of all the products and whatnot, but this is something that I do not want you to overlook. It is very important, and by no means am I a germaphobe, but I do like to know that my shit's disinfected. It's a good feeling, smells good, whatever. That is going to be tip number 5, and finishing out the list, I want to leave you with this. You know, a lot of people, when we talk about a clean car or detailing or whatever, a lot of people get stuck on the exterior, and I fall victim to that as well. I love a clean, shiny, dirt-free, grime-free exterior. It looks good, people notice it the most, so on and so forth, but you have to keep in mind, you are in the interior. Every single time that you drive your car or your truck, you are in the interior. So I like to think the interior is even more important than the exterior to keep nice, to keep clean, to keep fresh. This is what you experience. Unfortunately, you don't get to see your own car or truck driving down the road. That's just not how it works. But when I look down and I see clean carpets, I see a clean dash, I see clean everything, that makes me feel good, and I would like to think it would make you guys feel good as well. So that is going to do it for another episode of Gearbox. If you have any more tips or tricks as it relates to detailing the interior of your cars, drop them in the comment section down below. I know there are a lot of them out there. I just don't have enough time to put them in the video, but help a brother out. Drop them in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a big fat thumbs up, and as always, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And until next time, peace.